I am Vicky Quinn Fraser and I am the MicroBook Magician, and I help people to write and publish amazing non-fiction books. I like to say that I help people to use the voice they already have to tell their story. MicroBook Magic is my 8-week program to take people from big book idea to as far as they can get through their first draft, really. It is designed specifically for people who want to write a tiny book, a microbook, really. And I define microbook as under 100 pages. It's maybe anywhere between 15 to 25 or 30,000 words, depending on your idea and what you have to say. And I wanted to create something and help other people create something that was really a little bit easier and quicker to write and a lot quicker and easier to read and digest, but that packs a really powerful punch. I created MicroBook Magic in, I think, 2022. A friend of mine helped me come up with the idea, my friend Misty, and it came about because during lockdown, I had launched a program called the Weird and Wonderful Book Society, which was a 3-month program designed to help people write, a kind of standard size book. But a couple of years later, I was really struggling to get people invested in that course and to get people wanting to do it. And so Misty had said, why don't you make it micro? Why don't you shrink everything down and make it as tiny as you possibly can? And I was like, that's a great idea. So MicroBook Magic was born, this idea that we don't have to, like, writing a book doesn't have to be this epic, magnum opus kind of biggest project of your life. And we've done 6 seasons of MicroBook Magic, and 42 people have come through the MicroBook Magic process. Some of them have done it more than once, which is very cool. And I have at the moment 16 books on my shelf from people who have actually got their book out there. And I know that there are another 10 to 15 in production at the moment, and a few people had started their books and then turned them into something else or something bigger. So it's really exciting to see all this work come out of MicroBook Magic. And even the ones who haven't published their books yet have created something that they've taken and turned into a new product or a new direction for their business or a new understanding of who they are and what they do, which is see people's hard work come to fruition in the form of like an actual book. It's very, very exciting. And so but I think what I'm most proud of is seeing people do something that they didn't really necessarily think they could do. And a really good example of that is one of my really early MicroBook magicians had told me that when she was at university, one of her professors had said, you can't write and you never will be able to. And that's, let's leave aside the fact that that's an awful thing for a teacher to say to any kind of student. But she, despite that, decided when she'd seen my MicroBook Magic program that she wanted to give it a go. And the book is amazing. It's a wonderful book. It's beautifully written. I know it's going to change people's lives. It changed mine. I mean, every single one of my clients' books changes my life in some way. Even if it's not a book that I think is for me as the target audience, there's always something that I can take out of it personally that is really transformative. So I wanted to just show off a few of the books that have come out of MicroBook Magic. This is a really good example of a really teeny tiny microbook by Misty, and this is the same Misty who helped me come up with the idea in the first place. And this is the first book in a series of 3 microbooks that she's writing. She's just finishing her second one at the moment, which she wrote with me in the last round, and it's just 34 pages long. And it's a real quick dip into beginning email marketing, which is really, really cool. This beautiful little book was by the woman who was told that she was not a writer and never would be, and it's wonderful. And again, it's a little tiny transformational kind of, I don't know what I thought self-care was before I read this book, but I kind of thought it was a little bit to do with bubble baths. But this is a wonderful, flips that idea on its head and shows you what really is a sustainable form of self-care. And that, I think, has become a whole new segment of her business, where she's built in her tarot readings and all sorts of things into this, which is really interesting. And then we've got Aileen Smith, whose microbook became a bigger size book, because that happens sometimes. This is a big chunky book, and it's amazing, and it's 270 odd pages long. And it's filled with, again, this has changed my life. I used to run, I don't really anymore, but the recipes in here, and the way of eating to fuel exercise has changed the way that I eat. But the thing that this has done for her has made her rethink what she wants to do with her business, what she wants to do with the podcasts that she used to have. And she's just released a journal planner that is a companion book to this. So she's now got 2 books off the back of this, and a microbook that started as a microbook but has become a big chunky one. So that's just a couple of examples of the things that people can do with their books. They can become so much more than the book itself, which is really exciting. If you would like to join the waiting list for the next round of MicroBook Magic, you can do that on my website, and the link is below. Or you can drop me an email, vicky@moxiebooks.co.uk, and ask me for all the details, and I will absolutely send them through to you. We always have a lot of fun on MicroBook Magic, but you don't have to take my word for it. I am bound to say that because I love doing it and because it's my course. So I have asked some of my more recent clients to tell me and tell you about their experiences with my MicroBook Magic. So yeah, have a bit of a listen to this.
My favorite thing about MicroBook Magic was the constant reminder that you are not trying to write the next Wuthering Heights. It's just embrace the shitty first draft, or just almost just accept that the first things that you write might not be what's in the final product.
That's for sure. You're going to second guess yourself. You're going to go through all of the emotions. But when you get the physical copy of your book and you can see it on Amazon and you can share it on all your social platforms, that there's not really a feeling like that. It really makes it all real. And it definitely is one of those sort of like, oh, I've done a really good job. So for me, it's, getting the book in the end.
Everybody has something they're good at. And Vicky, hot seating, unpacking and elevating people's books is her actual ninja skill. And so again, what she did for mine, amazing. But watching her do it for others enabled me to write better in the first place from listening, that observational learning opportunity of watching her hot seat with other people, talk about language techniques, talk about conceptual bringing concepts together, making lists, just so many different literary and conceptual devices, which is it's brilliant. And that by far and away was my most favorite thing.
Oh God, I can't pick a feature. Which feature did I like the most? Just liked all of it. I suppose the thing I liked most was that it's a microbook, and knowing that I'm not a finisher, I like starting projects. I always knew that getting it over the line would be the hardest part, but she does everything in her power to help you do that. I suppose, therefore, that my favorite feature was the fact that there's a VIP option and she can do the proofreading and typesetting. I know I will not get that sorted out. So I think that's a weight off my mind.
If you've ever thought or been told that you should write a book and it's something that you want to do, but you've thought, I don't know, maybe it's not for me, maybe I'm not a good enough writer, maybe my ideas aren't original enough, what would I have to say that anyone would be interested in? I would say come and give it a go, because this is not like a world-shattering kind of earth-shaking commitment. We're not trying to win the Pulitzer Prize here. We're trying to connect with people through the medium of books, and that is a really powerful and exciting thing to do. And I promise you that what you have to say is interesting to the people that you want to reach. I promise you that. So